Well, we have to get New Jerseyans back to work. There's three main issues. It's jobs, jobs, and jobs. We're dealing with one of the higher unemployment rates. Nothing's really happened in the last 2 years to change that. So this is an agenda that we're going to advance in order to stimulate that aspect of New Jersey's economy.
And the governor, I was away last week, but I believe it was last week or possibly even earlier this week. I know that he said we're not going to spend money in a supplemental way. In other words, we're not tacking anything onto this budget. We don't have the money. What do you say to that?
Well, on one of the job bills, for example, as we've looked at the state of Georgia that has created thousands and thousands of jobs over the last 8 years, we're talking about a $3 million price tag. That is a de minimis amount of money to create the kind of jobs that we're certain this program will. And hopefully the governor and his colleagues on the legislative side will have an epiphany understanding how important this is for New Jerseyans.
And that was the Back to Work NJ bill, and then there's also the Grow NJ bill. What does that one do?
Well, it's the Grow NJ bill deals with particular tax credits, if you will, for companies that make certain that they're going to make a capital investment and then create X number of jobs. And the thing that I love about it is the capital investment piece, because not only do you get the jobs, but you're also going to get construction to go with it.
And there's often the argument, at least in the private sector, that you've got to spend money to make money. And that seems to apply to these, and that seems to be also the reasoning that you're using, the Democrats in the legislature are using to try to persuade the governor to probably lose a little bit of money, all right?
Look, I mean, this isn't even a close call. For example, as a way to keep business in New Jersey regarding cosmetic surgery, where based on the tax in place, everybody was running to either New York or Philadelphia. Well, we've repealed that tax today to the form of $10 million a year, give or take. So on one level, we were repealing a $10 million revenue in order to keep jobs, to not go with something over just $3 million expenditure that's going to create, again, hundreds and then ultimately thousands of jobs for New Jerseyans. Just isn't logical and just doesn't fall with what our collective mission should be. So hopefully in a bipartisan way we could move forward, turn the page, the election's over, and do right by New Jersey citizens.
And what's the argument you're using, everyone is using, to try and persuade the governor to see things as you see things? Because right now it doesn't appear as though he does. What's the argument you hope will tip the scales in your favor?
Well, look, I respect the governor and his philosophies, but sometimes those philosophies play better to a national audience than they do as for what's right for New Jersey. Hopefully, as we get into the second term, or second part of his term, he'll look at things in a little bit of a different way as it relates to let's do what's right for New Jersey. In this instance, spending a couple dollars to create jobs is absolutely what's proper.